big picture of the challenge to get into the play-in tournament on your mind versus, as you said, just trying to focus on the moment?
I mean, it's natural at this point of the season. It is what it is in terms of the reality of the standings. So we just got to take it 1 minute at a time. I mean, I felt like we had that Atlanta game. In a few games before that, I feel like we were this close, and it's even more of an emotional roller coaster when you get really close to winning basketball games, and then you feel the pressure of the standings. And then also Twitter and Instagram don't make it easier, and how people download their own news and process it. So I do my best to just stay focused and attack the goal at hand. And if it goes well, great. If it doesn't, then it's another day that I got to get ready for.
Has it been a challenge to keep the confidence of the group up, to keep kind of the belief within that group up?
I think we're way past just belief. I don't think that's enough to win basketball games in the NBA. I think you just got to go in knowing that you're going to selflessly throw yourself into the pursuit of a win. And, the time where you feel like you're being selfish, I think, I've been guilty of it, just being out there just throughout my career. And even in the season, just you get selfish in your own thought process, and there are other guys on the floor playing with you. So while sometimes you could be overthinking, your teammates are looking to you for leadership. So you just got to be able to stay poised throughout those moments and look them eye to eye and let them know it's going to be okay. The mistakes that happen out there is not the end of the world. I think we all have our different reactions on how mistakes happen. But for me, I think realizing just the power of my position, I got to make sure I keep a strong face and make sure I keep giving encouragement, no matter what.
In that fourth, every shot that went up, that feeling, just hearing the crowd roar every shot.
It feels great. This is a great environment to play in. I've said it in the past, just coming to American Airlines, even as a visitor, you just feel that the fans are right on top of you. When it gets loud in here, it gets really loud. So I'm appreciative of the boos last week or 2 weeks ago, and then now the cheers. It just makes basketball and the sport that much more fun, because when we're playing well, you can just hear the difference. And when we're playing hard and defensively we're getting stops and we're making teams miss, fans appreciate that. But when we're not, and it's hard to watch. It's hard basketball to watch when even despite us winning the game, we still gave up a few offensive rebounds, and that glaring stat doesn't help going into the next game, because the Chicago Bulls know that. But we just got to do the little things again, and we talked about it in the locker room. So
later in the fourth quarter, you had a turnaround jump shot that took like a couple pivots and shot fakes before you got into it.
Did I travel?
I don't think so.
Good. Let's see it. Good. It looked like that foot came up, but yeah, go ahead.
What's kind of helped you to develop like those tough shot making, those counters in your game as your career developed?
I think the most simple answer to that is just watching the best of the best that have ever played the game, specifically at the 1 guard and 2 guard position or 3 guard position, and have worked really even centers. You got Hakeem, Michael Jordan, and Kobe that I watch pretty often, of just studying their footwork and having moves on top of moves and combinations on combinations, and just never know when you have to go to the toolbox to use something against a defender. So that's how I work on my game, just segment by segment, and when it works out, great. But when it doesn't, I just got to get back to the gym.
You mentioned desperation basketball. Did you sense that at halftime, knowing what a loss might have meant today?
I wasn't even thinking about a loss. I kind of was just focused on getting the win. The energy didn't feel like we were going to lose tonight, so I didn't come in at halftime worried. But I'm glad I got something to eat at halftime, because I was emotionally stressed. If I only had 6 points, you start looking at the stats, and that's when it's easy to become selfish when you just look at your stats and you wonder, how can I play better? But then in the second half, I just threw myself into the fight, and it usually works out for me.
What'd you eat?
Food. Yeah, food.
At this time of the year, do you feel like your play goes to another level?
I think in any must-win situation, it's good to test your skills and kind of live with the results of, again, like I said, just throwing yourself into the fight. game of basketball is very emotional as it is. And if I'm already thinking about what's the response going to be, whether we win or lose, then I've already failed. Just got to stay focused on the goal at hand, and that's just being there for my teammates while we're playing out there and staying connected and looking my head coach eye to eye and just listening to his advice when needed and just allow myself to just flow into the game.
How was Coach
Last
Kidd
one, guys.
led you so far?
It's been an interesting journey just because I've gotten to get to know him as a person for the first time, and it's my first time playing for him. I've obviously played against his Milwaukee teams, played against a few of his teams that he coached when he was on the Lakers. But it just feels good when, somebody that's put in the amount of work that you have or already etched their name in the history books and just give you some strong advice when you're out there, especially when you need it most.